Hi guys, this is Monty back again. I'm doing my typical 5 mile walk. Um, Very nice, cool weather today. You can't beat it here in Camarillo, my little walking path. Just wrapping it up. Got just a quarter of a mile, I think, left of my 5 mile walk. Now we're wrapping it up, just so you can get an idea of what it looks like. The creek beds are all dried up, unfortunately. But, nice wooded area, somewhat nice walking path. Not hardly any people. I don't see very often, just a few every now and then walking along here. So today, what's going on today? It looks like we haven't had any major catastrophes here. I think there's some big earthquake between the Iran and Iraq border, 7.2 magnitude earthquake over there. So you may want to send some positive thoughts to those guys over there. Other than that, things are pretty much copacetic here. Planning for probably another trip soon. So we'll broadcast and send the recorded videos to you guys after we get back. I'm discovering a lot of sites around the world that we want to visit, called them mysterious places. Different places where either the Machu Picchu in Peru, maybe the Stonehenge, maybe Gobo Tepeque or something, whatever it's called, the big stones over there. You name it. There's different places, even in Florida. There's the Coral Castle, I think it's called. Some individual was moving large, gigantic ton stones around, and just one person, they can't figure out how. They think he was using the same technology that the Egyptians used way back when. Just taking a lot of time out to get away from the rat race and the typical programmed thinking that we fall into when we're preoccupied with daily stuff that's purely designed to keep us distracted. So, yeah, separate yourself from the daily grind as much as possible. The programming that you get from the boob tube and all these other mainstream sources of news, that shit is garbage and toxic. So get out and get away from all of that and do some contemplation and meditation. Try to figure out what makes the human species in particular so different, and why we have to be responsible keepers of the planet, and find out more about the interactions between us and other animals, insects, plants, etc., since we do live in a big, giant, connected web that nature provides us. Everybody has a role to play, and if you don't believe me, talk to people who actually study plants and animals and insects and such, and most of them will tell you we don't live on an island separate and distinct from anything else. The plants need the animals, the bees need the flowers, and the flowers need the butterflies, and everything has a role to play. And you start severing these relationships, you're really going to screw something up quickly. So we need to be responsible stewards of the planet and try to make sure that we try and improve upon the situation. Whatever land, whatever space we occupy, leave it in a better condition if possible than it was when you got there. So, as the Indians say, I think they say we actually are renting or just borrowing the resources, and we need to give them back, and we need to try and make sure that we don't disturb things. Okay, so that's one of the main focuses that I want to concentrate on now. Other than that, keep yourself healthy and fit, and try to get out and about. Get some vitamin D3 on your skin as much as possible. I think a lot of people are finally waking up to the idea that there's homeopathic, Ayurvedic solutions and natural remedies that we all can embrace and take advantage of. So get rid of the pharmaceuticals, get rid of the toxins and poisons that the doctors and hospitals are doling out like candy and trying to figure out what does nature have to provide. A lot of those solutions that nature provides are 1 billion, 2 billion year old things, whether it be the Shilajit, whether it be the bentonite clay, whether it be the colloidal silver, whether it be iodine. These things are critical, and they're owed as the ancients, but yet we tend to bypass them because they're not recommended by your local doctor who's actually paid to give you some garbage that's going to make you sicker and keep you coming back to the hospitals and treating the side effects of one stupid solution with another thing that's going to give you even more side effects, which you would have to treat even more with even more pharmaceuticals and toxins and poison. So get away from that and concentrate on giving your body what it needs. Build up your immune systems and get that brain food in there. Read about the pineal gland, or pineal gland, however you want to say it. Small organ in the head, resembles an eye. The ancients put a lot of emphasis on the pineal gland. They nurtured it, worshipped it. There's a lot of symbolism dedicated to using various pineal gland symbols everywhere throughout the world. Pope, Vatican, Egyptian, Mayans, Mexicans, everybody has pineal gland representations on their walls, ceilings, and floors, and buildings and different structures. So learn about that. Try to decalcify your pineal gland. Try to raise your intelligence and your frequency to the highest level possible. Optimize your mental states as much as possible. We're bombarding ourselves with a lot of electromagnetic radiation and the different technologies that really aren't as sophisticated as what the ancients were using. I always harp on or have to get on my soapbox about the ancients in terms of what they were doing. Read about that, research it, because a lot of that information is finally being discussed and debated, and a lot of the dinosaurs who try to brainwash us in terms of thinking that there is absolutely no ancient civilizations that had a greater intelligence than ours. A lot of that information is being disproved, and people are questioning, people are debating, people are being a little bit open-minded. But the older folks have to either die out or we just have to ignore them or something, because they have their own mindset, and the more enlightened younger groups, people that are coming up, young people are going to have the opportunity to discover a lot of these things, and they'll start to embrace them, benefit from using some of the ancients' techniques, medicinal cures, strategies, whatever you want to call it. These things are to be embraced and used and deployed in a practical sense. Okay, get your gemstones, get your shungites and your crystals and your Moldavite. Learn about those things. They play a role in terms of reconnecting us to the cosmos and all the other things like that. There's a lot to be said about that. A lot of ancient or tribes and groups, they use these things for very, very specific, very, very serious reasons. So, hello, Edwin. Bring them on camera. So, we have to learn from the past in order to go forward. So, that's my bandwagon. That's what I'm putting a little bit more focus on. In terms of what was done 10,000, 15,000 years ago or something, what made these people so capable of doing the things that they did? These things are important. So, do your research. Spend more time studying the ancients and the Egyptians and the Sumerians, the Mayans, various cultures that really, really did some outstanding things and that are still baffling scientists and engineers and anthropologists even until this day. Study Zachariah Stitchin. Find out what he's talking about. What's so important about that. find out why Zawas Hawaii, this Egyptologist, I think I'm saying that right, Zahawi, anyway, he was an Egyptologist. He determined what pyramids, what artifacts, what sacred sites in Egypt would be viewed or not viewed by tourists, and then they found out that Zacharias was actually on the take and being influenced and maybe conducting himself in a manner that wasn't entirely professional. So now we have younger Egyptologists, younger anthropologists in Egypt, or archaeologists, and they're able to talk about new theories and new ideas about what's going on in Egypt, what has happened, and so that's worth looking into. So things are changing. Old people are dying out. Young people are coming in with open minds and new ideas and challenging the status quo. So that's what it's all about. So we're going to wrap up this session. I just finished my walk. Just got my indicator on my map, my run application, and I got to go home and walk my cat, Lazy Bones. He's going to want to go out, get some fresh air as well. So you guys take care and stay enlightened. Thank you.